Welcome to the World of Horror podcast with Mom and Mac. I'm Mom.
And I'm Mac.
This is the podcast where we share our love of international horror. Everyone has their fears, but we are not afraid of subtitles. Disclaimers for adult language and spoilers. Hi, Mac. How's it going?
Hi, Mom. I don't know what it is. I just well, I think maybe I know what it is. Do you ever have a nightmare and then when you wake up, it just kind of sets the tone for the day?
Yes.
In a way. That happened. And it's so annoying because it's like, wow, when you go to bed, I literally had the thought, well, tomorrow will be a new day. And I went to bed. And then when I woke up, I was like, and it's worse.
Oh,
wow,
no.
That's crazy. Do you want to hear about my nightmare?
Yeah, sure.
It was so fucked up, and I know exactly how it happened. Alan and I were watching there are these videos on YouTube, like no context American politics, which just take clips of, stuff about politics, and it kind of makes you go, uh-oh, about people are so stupid. I think that's the thing. And I know that's always been the case. Like forever, people have always been dumb. But when it's all put into one video, you're like, wow, they're so stupid. Yeah. And my future's in their hands. Cool. And so my nightmare was that in my dream world, whoever was the president was a Democrat, and that there was a real violent coup. And first it was from the perspective of a friend of mine that lives in DC, and it was just extremely violent. And she doesn't even work in politics, but it got so absurd and scary that in the dream I was like, this is a dream. This isn't this isn't real. But it still was very I don't know, it just got me rattled to start the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can see that. Do you have dream themes that come up a lot in your dreams?
Yeah, definitely my brain likes to rustle around to find anxieties and then do something even that I thought something even worse than what I usually think. I one time had a dream that I was hanging out with a bunch of my friends, and one of their somebody just got a boyfriend, and the boyfriend's I'm in the middle of saying something, and the boyfriend's I'm going to stop you, and I'm going to say what everybody else has always been thinking, but always too afraid to tell you. We all, basically, we all hate you. We all think you're annoying. And I woke up being what the fuck? That's so fucked up. That's never been a fear of mine, I thought. What about you?
I have survival dreams.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. What was that show? The
Walking Dead?
Oh God, I'm so old. Yeah, The Walking Dead. That style where you have to run and find a hiding place and stay really, really still, things like that. So
that's horrifying.
I have dreams like that. Yeah, but remember I was telling you I was having that fear. I would imagine myself on a really tall building or something, mm-hmm. or I had fallen out of the window of a 30-story a building or something like that. I think that's gone away because I was finally okay, I don't know, brain, why you're doing this to me, but I would feel my stomach drop and that feeling you have when you're on a roller coaster. And I don't ride roller coasters. I don't like that feeling.
Yeah.
But I was just okay, brain, that's enough. I don't know why you're doing this to me.
Cut the bullshit.
I hate it. So I think I'm over that. Also, there was one of those scenes that seems to be in a lot of movies where somebody does fall out of a window and they're just hanging, by a thread, and then they get pulled in. And the movie that was in was the movie Drop that came out last year. And I saw it in the theater, and then now it's on TV, and I watched it, and I watched that scene over and over, and it's so dumb. Yeah. Because I'm this is green screen. This is not happening, And also in the film, spoiler, she's rescued, and then she gets up and she's perfectly fine. She's not even like breathing heavy. And I'm like, well, okay.
That wouldn't be.
That was just so the special effects could like do their thing in this film. But anyway, I kind of like that film. By the way, there's an actor that I watched when I was in college, and he shows up in this film. And I knew he was going to be important because you don't just grab that guy, even though he's a character actor. You don't just like put him in your movie for the little role that he was playing.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. And Quinn and I saw the film. She's like, who's that guy? And I'm like, Reed Diamond. She's like, okay. Like, you wouldn't know him unless you like watched Homicide: Life on the Street like I did when I was in my 20s. So anyways, there are certain actors that, you know, you like. They're important to you. Like Rick Moranis, for example.
I tried to do my hair like that. I wanted to kind of give Seymour, but I actually don't have any like clothes that drab. Like I got rid of them all. They're all... So I was like, you know what? This is like got flowers on it, you know.
Oh.
This would have been something Audrey would have picked out for him.
Yes, I think so. I was wondering if you wanted to talk a little before we got into it, like about your love for Rick Moranis.
Honestly, now I hadn't really thought about it in a while, but it continued, like, you know, if you're trans, and I think this is true of many, like not just being trans, but any sort of thing that you blossom into in adulthood, like things like puzzle pieces fit together. And Rick Moranis is a puzzle piece. Like I definitely identify with him. Like, you know, he's a short king. I don't know how tall he is, but he looks short. You know, he's got a very cute, like round face. Like, it's not even that we look similar, but I feel like our features are in similar places. He's kind of got like a shorter nose and like round cheeks. And anyways, like watching it, I suddenly realized like, oh yeah, okay, he was like goals, you know, for me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And when I was watching Little Shop, I was like, this movie imprinted on me. So many things, like,
yes.
Okay, the way I look, I studied horticulture, long-term relationship with a blonde hottie, like it all is coming together. All the things click into place.
I love it when you can like look back on your life and you can be like, oh, that's why. Like Brazil was like that for me. Like that movie really imprinted on me. This one did too, but I was, you know, 17 or something when I saw it. So not the same, but yeah. Wow. That's so cool.
I love that you showed me this movie. Like when I don't know what age I was when you first showed it to me, but I quite literally have been obsessed ever since. Like I was telling Alan, I listen to the Broadway like soundtrack minimum once a month. Like just, since then. And I've seen that. I don't know how many times I've seen the movie or watched clips on TV or on YouTube. And I just love how beloved this movie is. Like at my old job, because I used to work at a place with plants, like somebody just brought up like, feed me, Seymour. And like, it just made me happy how many people just, I feel like, have such a soft spot for this film.
Yeah, I know. It's really great. So, WoHos, if you haven't guessed already, today we're talking about musicals. And so Mac is going to talk about Little Shop of Horrors.
It was so nice of my sweet mother for letting me do this one. I even told, like, at first she was like, okay, I want to do Little Shop of Horrors. And I was like, that is so fair. I've been doing really fun ones recently. And then she was so nice and was like, you know what, you can do it. And that is so sweet. So I just got to give a shout out to my mom. Because when I was watching it, I was like, oh man, I'm so glad I get to do this movie.
Well, I watched the other one, so I thought, you know, of the two, and I know how important this one is to you. So,
but that's just so sweet. So I appreciate it. So yes, we are doing musicals. We are both big fans of musicals. Honestly, whenever somebody tells me they don't like musicals, it is like it's a red flag. And that is one such thing that my current love, my boyfriend told me on like our first date was like, yeah, I'm not really into him. And I was like, okay, so there's one con. But he's so nice. He sits through them. So that's very sweet. But yeah, I just love them. Whenever people are like, well, why are they just singing? Because it's fun. Like, okay, why is the sky blue?
Well, I think there are different kinds of musicals, though. And I think the ones we're doing today kind of embody that. Like, there are musicals where the songs tell the story and they move the story along. And then there are musicals where there's just like music, infused into the story. And I much prefer the first kind.
Same. Like, I do like Moulin Rouge, but that is kind of a nonsensical musical where they're just like, and now we're going to sing and dance. But you can't have Little Shop without singing, That's how the story is. Which is funny because I've never actually seen the first, like the original film, which I don't think has singing.
The Corman? No, it doesn't.
I know. What a shame.
No, it's pretty straight.
So,
except for the dentist scene, which is pretty comical.
Oh, really?
And I believe the patient is Jack Nicholson.
Wow.
But yeah.
I should go back and watch that.
Yeah, I think it would maybe inform, your appreciation of the musical. But yeah, it's just played like a straight horror film.
Wow. And they did make a lot of changes to this movie. Like the original ending is so dark. And I'm kind of glad they changed it. I like it better being sweet. But okay, so Little Shop of Horrors. Here is the short plot summary from IMDb. A nerdy florist finds his chance for success and romance with the help of a giant man-eating plant who demands to be fed. It was directed by Frank Oz, screenplay by Howard Ashman, based on Little Shop of Horrors, the 1982 musical by Howard Ashman, and Little Shop of Horrors, the 1960 film by Roger Corman and Charles B. Griffith. It stars our king, Rick Moranis, Ellen Greene, who was in the Broadway musical, Vincent Gardenia, Steve Martin, King, James Belushi, John Candy, Christopher Guest, and Bill Murray. And I gotta say, I'm pretty sure I haven't actually ever seen the stage production. I just have listened to the soundtrack, but I'm pretty sure that Bill Murray scene was like a total fabrication, but I love it. And yes. I like, no offense to Bill Murray lovers, I'm not like oh my God, he's like the best dude ever. He's like all right, but in this movie, he is the best dude ever. Like,
yes,
performance of a lifetime.
Yeah, if you really want to see a picture of a masochist,
yes,
that is right there.
As Steve Martin says, frickin' sicko. Cinematography by Robert Painter and edited by John Jimson, with music by Miles Goodman, who did the score, and Alan Menken, who did the songs. We love Alan Menken, very talented. And it was released December 19th, 1986, with a runtime of 94 minutes. And you got to know that's a fabulous runtime. So way back when, in 1962, we have our Motown three-girl Greek chorus with Crystal, Ronette, and Chiffon, who introduced the film, and like they're with us throughout the whole thing. And I do think the Greek chorus is very apt because the original story, I think, is a Greek tragedy. It's so like, it's such a bummer. But I'm glad they kept the Greek chorus. Simo Krelborn is Rick Moranis, and him and his coworker, Audrey Ellen Greene, work at Mushnick's Flower Shop in the rough, rundown Skid Row neighborhood of New York City. And the first, opening number of Skid Row downtown is them singing about how, like, they're trapped here and they wish they could get out. There's, like, such a creepy scene where, like, first Seymour's kind of walking through this alley, and then he goes up to a fence, and just all these people are like climbing up the fence. It's so scary. Someone tell Lady Luck that he's stuck here because he needs to get out. And both of them have no self-esteem. He's like, all my life I've been poor, and, I'm an orphan, and Mr. Mushnick took me in. He treats me a slob, which I am. And he's just so cute. Like, Rick Moranis is so cute. I think he's such a lovable guy. And, oh yeah, I got to inject that. If I could do anything, if I could be on any stage play, I would just love to be in Little Shop of Horrors. Like, there's probably a lot of plays I'd like to be in, but like number one is Little Shop of Horrors. I do feel like I could do it. It's just so fun. So this shop, Mr. Mushnick's flower shop, gets nobody. And, and also Seymour's a fucking klutz, and he's always dropping shit. And Mr. Mushnick's just like, oh my God, like, God, please help me, like talking to God, like with this guy. And I
think I was trying to find it. At one point he's like, my life is a living hell.
Yes, and my life is a living hell. And I just love how they're both like, kind of like, yeah. And we meet Audrey, who's this beautiful, like, buxom blonde. She's got such a crazy voice and like a lisp. Hi, Mr. Mushnick. And I just love this line because she comes in with a giant black eye, and Mr. Mushnick's like, I just have to say, I think this fella you're seeing is maybe not so much of a nice guy. Yeah, maybe not. And so Audrey's like, well, Seymour, like, how about you show Mr. Mushnick that strange and interesting plant you showed me? And so Seymour brings up a little plant in like a coffee tin and tells us the story. And he explains that he named it. It's like, I named it Audrey too. Just so stupid. But Audrey, they're both so stupid, which I like. That's my favorite character trait anybody could have. And Audrey is like so overwhelmed, like, after me. And so that's so sweet. And so he bought it from a Chinese flower shop during the solar eclipse. And in this number, Dadu, we got, I just love the Greek choruses wearing this, like, they got like green silk dresses on, and like their eyeshadow is a little bit like stereotypically racist. I think you could have a Chinese flower shop owner without him being dressed in whatever you can imagine is the most stereotypical way somebody could depict a Chinese man. There you go.
Like Fu Manchu style.
Yeah.
Little mustache and beard.
We don't need that.
No, we don't. It's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. But I do love that, like, while the solar eclipse is happening, like, because, we got them singing like Dadu in the background, and then there are these guys on the corner just snapping, and like Seymour just goes up to join them. And I love that this world is like, yeah, I'll join this number. But then the solar eclipse happens, and then standing there was this strange plant, Audrey too. And so he bought it, but it immediately starts to wither. Oh, excuse me. I forgot to say that, Mr. Mushnick is like, okay, yeah, this plant's great and all, but it's not going to immediately bring in a customer. But then a man immediately enters. He's like, I just have to ask you about that strange and interesting plant that you have in the window. And, they tell him the story, and then he's like, all right. Okay, also, could I have $50 worth of roses? And Mr. Mushnick's like, well, I can't break a $100 bill. And he's like, oh, I'll just take double then. So things are a little bit strange. This plant, it definitely has some powers, and but it immediately starts to wither. And so then we have the great song Grow For Me, which I have to say, I really understand where Seymour's coming from, because like I said earlier, I did get a horticulture degree, but you have never met somebody who's worse at taking care of plants than me. Like, I don't know why I'm so bad at it. I know what to do. And they always die. And so, Seymour finally realizes that the plant and like the little puppet that they made is just, I was just like looking at it in awe because they must have made so many because like there's so many growth stages Audrey 2 has, but you know, he pricks his finger and is like kind of like, you know, just he like puts it in his mouth and makes these like little kissy noises, but then he hears the plant making the same noises. And there's just a cute scene where like, you know, he like kind of sticks his finger in there and it opens up its mouth and then he moves it away and it's like, and so he realizes, okay, it wants to eat blood. So he feeds it human blood. And it's just so like, it has like a plant tongue. I just love this thing. It's so neat. I want one. Which I guess I'm part of the problem. So Audrey 2 begins to grow very fast and Seymour is has become a local celebrity. He even gets to go to this like radio show. We have a funny little scene where there's a woman bending over and the plant wants to bite her ass. And then we have this John Candy moment where he's like a shock jock, but like an old timey shock jock. So he's like, oh, I got this crick in my neck, like gets this thing to make a noise. And then when Seymour comes in, he like starts this little skit of like, lady, what are you doing in here? Why are you taking all your clothes off? Oh no, your husband, he's here. And like Seymour's just watching like, what's happening? And then he's like, all right, but sit down. And, you know, Seymour just tells him the story. So now we find out about Audrey's sadistic and evil boyfriend, Orvin Scrivello. He is a total piece of shit, like, cause now the, you know, business is booming, but Audrey, she's got her arm in this like sling that she's made. It's like tulle fabric and,
it's like gauzy.
Yeah, but like it matches her dress. It doesn't look
effective at all. Yes.
And I do love Mr. Mushnick. Like, he is kind of a piece of shit, but it is really sweet how he's just always like, you got to get away from this guy. And her whole thing is, I think, number one, she's scared that he will murder her. And also, she's like, well, he makes good money. And she doesn't believe she deserves anything better than this, which is so depressing. And so, you know, we have the Greek chorus being like, girl, like, why are you putting up with this? And she goes into one of the saddest songs you've ever heard, called Somewhere That's Green, where she's lamenting about how she does have feelings for Seymour. You know, he's such a sweet guy and dreams of running off with him to go to the suburbs. And like, this song, it always was sad to me, but watching it again, like there's a scene, I mean, it's just like, you know, out of a catalog. And she's like, they cut out one line that I love from the musical where she's like, you know, I dream of running away, a place with me and a toaster and a sweet little guy like Seymour. Like her dreams are so basic, which is so like depressing. Like she dreams of like having steel appliances and like a couch wrapped in plastic. And when we see her going through this dream house, like there's like a old timey MLM of like ladies selling Tupperware. Like that's her goal, is that.
Right.
Having like Seymour, you know, be her husband, and like they have 2 kids. And this, I always remember this scene makes you laugh, like when they open up to look at the kids playing with this marionette, and when they close, Rick Moranis just makes this face that's so like cheesy. It's so cute. And they dream of watching TV on a 12-inch screen, and it's just so depressing.
Well, I got this on video with my mom. I lived with my mom for 1 year when I was in high school, and this must have come out on video like that year or whatever. And so we would go to the Red Owl, which I don't think exists anymore, but there would be a video section in the grocery store. And she loved this musical number so much. And my mom and I had a really difficult relationship, but one thing we could bond over was movies. And Brazil was one of those, and this was another one. And she just thought it was hysterical, all the things that, you know, Ellen Greene longs for in this song. My mom grew up in the 50s, and she didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Very much. So to have this nostalgic look back, she's like, oh Lord,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and that look that Rick Moranis gives when he's shaking his head, it's just
so
golden.
Cheesy. And they're
So
going back
good.
to their twin beds. And her dresses
Yes.
are crazy. Like there's like a hoop under one of them. And having like TV dinners.
She says, I cook like Betty Crocker and I look like Donna Reed. And she's wearing these like long cocktail dresses and just really amazing.
It's
stuff.
So great. I remember like when we first were watching this movie, this was where like I think I was still in on watching it, but this song was where I kind of like locked in of like, okay, like this is a good ass movie. So Seymour continues to feed Audrey to his blood, which drains his energy. We get this song, Some Fun Now, which is just kind of like a little montage of, you know, the business is booming, but Seymour is like got cuts all over his fingers. And this is this is kind of a different song than what's in the original musical. Like, I forget what the name of it is, but there's just this funny moment in the original song where like Seymour's like, you know, I'm working as fast as I can, but all these Band-Aids make it kind of hard. And Audrey goes, Seymour, you've been getting hurt so much lately. It's just so silly. So he attempts to ask Audrey out, but she turns him down because she has a date with Oren. And it's just so sweet. Like, oh yeah, I wrote this down. Because, you know, he forgot about this like flower arrangement and he goes and he's like, Audrey, like we have to make something. And she's like, what is it? Birthday, wedding, baby? He goes, funeral. Hand me the lilies. So now, you know, then we find out about Oren and this amazing number, Dentist. Steve Martin, oh my Lord, he's so funny. Like, this movie, he does such a great job. It's like the exact amount. Like, he just does it so perfectly. And in this song, he's talking about, like, he's always been this way. He was a bad little kid. And it's so funny because it just starts like, you know, my mom would notice funny things I did, like shooting puppies with a BB gun, poison guppies. When I was done, I'd find a pussycat and bash in its head. And then his mom was like, I know the perfect job for you, my son, which is so sweet when you think about it. This woman loved her son. Like, she was like, what would work best for you? A dentist. And I didn't realize this the first time we watched, but like in the number, he like constantly is punching this one nurse, and that nurse is like the like horticulture professor at Hogwarts, that lady.
Oh yeah, Miriam Margolyes.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he's like punching her. He's like waiting until she's right behind the door and then opening it. And he's just, you know, torturing people. And there's this great moment where we see from inside this guy's mouth as he's like drilling it. And the Greek chorus are just like, oh my God. Who wants their teeth done by the Marquis de Sade? That's the first time I ever heard that name. And for the longest time, I was like, I don't know what that is. And then
like some of the rhymes in this musical are really amazing.
Yeah. The only time I ever longest time I did not know who that was. And then I remember first learning about Elon Musk as a person, and somebody had described him as, well, in college for Halloween, he dressed up as Marquis de Sade. And I was like, well, okay, now I've heard that name before, looked it up, and I was like, oh, God. Okay, that's all making sense. Wow. By the way, I have such a tiny little pet peeve. Anytime I see a Tesla on the road and they have a sticker that's like, I think Elon's a douchebag, I don't care. Like, to me, that's so like, don't key my car, please. But you're going to get keyed too. Get a new car. I'm sorry. I just find that so silly, that sticker. So I'm just saying, if you're a Tesla owner and you have such a sticker, rip it off because it's not cute. So then Seymour is like closing up the shop and he's like, all right, Tui, like I'm going to go get some food. And finally Audrey too really speaks up and is like, I think it's the most iconic number. It's what everybody knows. It's he's saying, feed me. And sings, you know, the song Feed Me, parentheses, get it. And he's basically telling Seymour, like, listen, bud, like, I'll give you whatever you want. You just gotta like feed me somebody. And Seymour's like, I don't know anybody that deserves to get chopped up and fed to a hungry plant. He's like, sure you do. And then like they look through the window, and I mean, Oren's just like he drove off with Audrey on this motorcycle. They come back to her apartment. She's running after them. He like tells her to open up the door, and then we can see their silhouettes. He's hitting her. So, and then it like zooms back in on Seymour's face, and he's just like incensed. And he's like, okay, yeah, like let's kill this guy. But I do love this because in like, there's a number they take out where the Greek chorus is basically talking about Seymour and just kind of calling him like a piece of shit, which I do love because in this movie, he's never really depicted as such. Like he is kind of a good guy, but Oren is a horrible man. Yes. But like, it's, you still can't like kill people, you know, like that's not a good thing to do. And like Audrey too is not like trying to help Audrey. He just knows this is the best way to get Seymour to do this for him or it. And so I just love that.
And she's seen like as a prize, just like Seymour says he'd love to ride around on a Harley machine. And he's like, yeah, I could get you girls. Audrey Chu's like, I can get you girls. How about one particular girl? And so she's just sort of seen as a prize, just like everything else that Audrey Chu is offering to Seymour.
Yeah, which is so sick because like that is how she sees like herself. She has no self-worth. So, you know, I think this is, I guess, a little bit touched on later. But I don't know. I like more so in the original musical, it's presented as like, no, that was fucked up. Like you should not have done that. Even if he's a bad guy, you still should not chop him up. But Seymour's kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And after, so then we get the greatest scene of Bill Murray. Like we know everything about Oren. He's like, you know, a sadist. And now we have Bill Murray, who's his ultimate match, who's like, he's excited to get, and like he's even like saying to his nurse like, does it have an appointment? What the heck? But like I don't know if Bill Murray was ad-libbing during this, but he just like,
I think he was.
It was genius. Like he's just, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, usually I see this one guy on Wednesdays who actually is a guy that I knew, like a previous dentist. Like it sounds so natural coming out of his mouth, and he's like putting the stuff in his mouth, like the bib on himself, and he is so like horned up to get whatever Oren's gonna give him, which disturbs Oren like to no end, and he's using everything he can on him. Meanwhile, Seymour, he's like brought a little gun, and he's like waiting to go in, and finally he just kicks him out, and you know, he like slams the door on him. He's like, freaking sicko. And then he turns to Seymour, is like, listen, this scares you, right? You wouldn't want this in your mouth, right? Seymour's like, no. He's like, all right, get in the chair. That's just, that scene's amazing. If you don't watch the movie, just look that up. Just look up Bill Murray, Little Shop of Horrors. It's like so good. It's the best filler I've ever seen. Yeah, Arthur, he requests a long, slow root canal. He is a fucking sicko. But he's kind of perfect for Oren. But anyway, so Seymour gets back in there, and Oren's like, he sees what a wimp Seymour is, and he's like, I'm going to want something special for this one. And this is another number that they cut out, which I think this is the biggest crime that this movie does, is cutting out this number, because there's a whole musical number that the dentist does about how he's like loves to huff gas. And But then, him pleading for his life because he breaks a knob off. And so Seymour doesn't even have to kill him. He's slowly dying from asphyxiation. And in the original musical number, he's basically saying like, this is like a horrible way to die. Like in between laughing, like, please help me. Like I'm dying right now. And Seymour decides like, I could just stay here and not do anything and that will kill him. And so he's, he is a piece of shit, like Seymour kind of is a piece of shit because he doesn't even have the guts really to kill him himself. Like, and he says like in his own mind, he's like, I didn't kill him, when it's like, bro, you right. Totally did. And I think the musical number does such a better job of this because you actually do start to feel bad for the dentist because he's like pleading for his life, but it's kind of quick in the movie, but he dies with like a huge manic grin on his face. So Seymour is a pretty comical scene. He's got his body wrapped up and like taking him down the stairs and his head is thudding like thud, thud. And then he just all the way falls down the stairs and Seymour starts to dismember his body. But Mr. Mushnick came back to the store to get something and witnesses like the silhouette of Seymour hacking him to death.
Hacking him to pieces.
Oh, yeah, excuse me. He's already dead, but hacking him to pieces. And the scene where he's feeding Audrey too, like the pieces are so funny because he's just so like ravenous for it. And Seymour's like so shell-shocked after. So now, Seymour has committed a crime. It has been witnessed. And I do love this scene because Audrey is not like, yippee, like he's dead. She's scared and she actually feels really guilty because she's like, it must be because of something I did. Which is not like she should not feel guilty, but it is because of her being with him, so she knows something is wrong and she's like, they suspect foul play. And, but Seymour is, he really kind of makes himself into the hero in this moment. The song is literally called Suddenly Seymour. And he's saying to her, like, you don't have to wear makeup. He's being a total nice guy in this moment. He's like, wipe off your mascara, take off that lipstick, like, show me your face, clean as the morning. Now things are okay because I'm here. And, but they do have feelings for each other. And it is still a sweet song. And,
And I like Rick Moranis is an okay singer, but Ellen Greene is an amazing singer.
Yes.
And so it's just kind of a great number in that way because he's holding his own, but she just like belts it out. And there's a little reprise of that later.
You're not ready for how good her voice is. And she's so happy. And this song is so sweet because, she's saying like, nobody's ever treated her life did not treat her kindly. Daddy left early. Mama was poor. She'd meet a man and she'd follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers and she'd say, sure. And, but, then they're saying like, the girl that's inside me, like he'll take care of me. And I think that's pretty sweet. Even though it is like, okay, dude, I mean, you did just like hack her boyfriend into pieces. He was a piece of shit, but that night, Mushnick confronts Seymour about Oren's death. He's like, he sees it kind of a little bit how I see it, of kind of like, oh, so you got rid of the boyfriend and now you can, swoop in. But he's even kind of being, okay, I don't give Mr. Mushnick anything. He is like the epitome of greed itself. Cause he is like, okay, you teach me how to, feed Audrey too. And you can like skip out on town, like lay low for 50 years and stuff, but I'll keep the plant. Obviously Seymour does not want to do that. And I do love this song because, again, we have Audrey too, like whispering kind of in Seymour's ear of just like, you need to get rid of him. Like everything that you've built up is going to come crashing down, and everything you have with Audrey, which is so silly because we know, the audience knows that Audrey loved Seymour way before this and will love him no matter what. Like she does not want glitz and glam. She just wants stability and a nice, she wants TV dinners. Like the bar is really low. But Seymour's self-esteem is even lower. And so he is like, she won't like me, if I don't do this. So he kind of takes another back seat, and Mushnik, is like, backing up, and, Audrey 2 opens up his mouth, and Seymour is like starting to tell Mushnik how to take care of the plant, but he backs him up into Audrey 2's mouth, and it swallows him whole during the song Supper Time. And God, I just love how that song sounds. It's just like Audrey 2 at the beginning, he's like, he's got your number now. It's like so like kind of smooth. So now the flower shop is essentially Seymour's, because this isn't really talked about in the movie, but in the original musical, like Mushnik does adopt him as his own son after he starts getting successful. There's a whole song called Mushnik and Son, because he wants to change the name to Mushnik and Son. And like, but the song is so cute because like Seymour's like, you're my dad, and Mushnik's like, don't make me sick. Just be my son. It's so funny. So he's getting like widespread success. People are banging down the door to get, Seymour's number, but he's still really worried about Audrey 2's growth and his appetite, because he's just going to have to keep feeding him more people. And then we get the song The Meek Shall Inherit, where the Greek chorus is kind of like, this guy's a piece of shit. People are like, sweet talking Seymour, being like, come on, you can like be on this TV show. We'll call it like Seymour's gardening program and stuff. And I don't remember if this is a line in the movie or just the musical, but like he really says to himself, like, no, like I'm not going to let it happen. I have to stop it. But then he's like, but then there's Audrey. Like, will she love me? If I don't do this. And yes, she will. But he becomes so overwhelmed. So Audrey congratulates Seymour on a contract for a botany TV show. Audrey congratulates Seymour on a contract for a botany TV show and tells Seymour the producers will return with the money the following day. Yeah, so they can, and he's like, okay, cool, I can like skip town. And he proposes to Audrey, asking her to marry him that afternoon. And so he wants to escape with her, which will lead the plant to starve. So after she accepts Seymour's proposal, Audrey 2 then sings another song to Audrey this time, Supper Time 2, where he's like, please, little darling, like, come on, I'm so hungry, like, feed me. And, she's like, oh, your branches all dry, poor thing. So he coaxes her into the shop and attacks her. But Seymour saves the day. He, frees her, and they do end up, he kills Audrey 2, and he runs off into the sunset with Audrey. But then we get this cute little cheeky moment where in the garden, there's a little Audrey 2 that smiles at the camera. But this is not the case in the original. In the director's cut, which I read that they had changed this because the audience was like, nope, that's too fucked up. Yeah. And it does. I think American audiences don't like shit like this. That they want things to be neat and cute. And I guess I'm also part of the problem because I wanted that too. But in the original ending, Seymour pulls Audrey from the plant's jaws, but she's mortally wounded. And so she actually begs him to feed her to the plant and does a reprise of Somewhere That's Green, meaning the jaws of Audrey 2, which is so fucked. Like, that's so sad. Like, that's so I remember, like, because when I was first into this movie and I was looking it up online, and I felt like my jaw dropped. I was like, no way did they do that. Because she just loves Seymour so much and she wants him to have all the success. And he attempts to kill himself by jumping off the shop's roof, but then learns that botanical executive Patrick Martin plans to propagate and sell Audrey 2s with or without his consent. And realizing that Audrey 2 is planning global conquest, resolves to destroy the plant. And then Audrey 2 explains that, yeah, it is an alien. And it has come here for world domination, and it tears down the shop, fishes Seymour from the rubble, and eats him alive. And that's the song Mean Green Mother from Outer Space. And then in the finale, the chorus girls explain that Audrey 2 buds became a worldwide craze, and that they were like, they gave creeps fulfilled their wishes and fed the plants and to, get all the success in their own way, and they took over the earth. And that they're toppling buildings and feeding on people, and that the army is fighting the buds that are ascending the Statue of Liberty. In the finale, don't feed the plants. And it's cute in the song. They're like, they name all these places the plants are, and they go, or where you live. But what do you think? What do you think is the better ending?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm used to the one we get where we see that tract home that she really wanted, and somewhere that's green, and they're running toward the front door, and she's in her wedding dress, and I don't know. So that's the ending that I'm familiar with. I think this one is I would probably like it better now.
Yeah, more morbid.
Now. Yeah. But yeah, as a younger person, I think I would have said the happy ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, I'm glad both exist, but I think if I was in that test audience, I would have said, nope, you better give me the sweet one. And I stand by that. 'Cause like when you just listen to it, it does just make you so sad. Like you are just like, oh, all the characters I've come to love, they all got eaten. That's sad. Mushnik, yeah, whatever. And then obviously Oren, if anybody had to get eaten. But Seymour and Audrey, especially Audrey, she's
both
the biggest victim.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't deserve a single thing. Seymour, perhaps, yes. But so, all right. Frank Oz originally wanted the Greek chorus, Crystal, Ronette, and Chiffon, to be highlighted by a spotlight whenever they appeared, but this proved to be impractical as the light would spill over onto other actors. But he did manage to have them magically remain dry during the rainstorm in the title number. That is so cute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I was going to say, I had written this down. I love during Feed Me, there's a giant spotlight on Audrey too. Like, I do feel like, and when you look outside, it looks like a stage, like the sky in the distance looks fake, but I like that. I feel like this is, if you ever want to make a musical play, a movie, I think this is the perfect way to do it. You get like the movie feeling, but you don't really lose what makes a stage production cute. And I think like all the sets look like a stage, but not, it's like they do, but they don't. And I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing I really love about this film is, of course, there's no CGI. It's all, I mean, there's a little computer aided animation, and it's so 1980 style, but the puppets were puppets, and they were moved around by like several puppeteers. And I mean, that's just so incredible, all the work that went into creating all the different versions of the Audrey 2s.
Yeah, you could never have the power of Feed Me with a CGI Audrey 2. Like, the way it moves is so cool. They gave it so much like personality, even though it has no eyes. I feel like giving something personality with no eyes or eyebrows is incredible, but just with its head moving and its like little lips and its tongue, it just, it's so good. And Rick Moranis is acting like, oh, there's a giant plant in front of me, because there is. So
right, yeah, he's not acting against nothing or against a golf ball or something like that,
morph
like they have to today.
Have you seen those videos of like Benedict Cumberbatch when he was Smaug? Like in The Hobbit?
So, yeah.
It's kind of incredible. Yes. He gave it his all, and I have to give him credit for that. Well,
in the latest Superman, which I saw,
how was that?
I really enjoyed it. I'm going to go again when Quinn gets back. But I was a huge fan of the original Superman's in the 70s. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, the dog is completely CGI. And so, yeah. And so somebody was asking the guy who plays Superman, like, so what were you acting against? And he's like, oftentimes nothing. And I would just have to ask the director, like, what's Crypto doing right now?
Wow.
He goes, but then James Gunn would get on the floor and like demonstrate like what he was, supposed to be seeing and stuff.
That's funny.
And the cool thing about that dog is it's completely modeled on James Gunn's dog.
That's cute.
So yeah, that's really cool. So I've gotten completely into it.
I gotta see it now.
Yeah, it's really fun. I'll see it again.
Is it like the posters I've seen? What I love is that it looks colorful. I feel like I'm tired of things looking like they've got like a filter or like grungy. I want pops of color.
Oh, you would love the costuming in this. Like Lois Lane's costumes, you would just like, and Jimmy Olsen too. Like the costuming is really great. And Mr. Terrific's costuming is also really, I think you'd really like it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'll see it with you.
Okay. You
gotta see it 3 times. Here's some more trivia. Wardrobe and props were obtained from New York thrift shops in order to attain a period realism. That's so cool. Like, I really do feel like Ellen Green. Like, I obviously was not alive during that time, but like, oh my God, she looks amazing. Like, she got this polka dot number and like, I love Seymour's clothes too. Like, he looks like a nerd.
Yeah.
And I love the little details, like not Seymour, but Mr. Mushnick and Audrey both get more glam, like as the shop gets more money, and their sign even changes. Like it goes from flower shop to like Mr. Mushnick florist. Like that, little details like that are so good. The most difficult items to find were garbage cans, so set director Tessa Davies drove around in a truck filled with new cans, and whenever she saw an old one outside of someone's house, she stopped and offered to trade. People thought I was crazy, she remarked. Okay, that's sweet. I love that. The puppeteers who designed and operated Audrey 2 were veterans of the Jim Henson Company. One of the operators was Brian Henson, Jim's son. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
The young girl leaving the dentist's office with her jaws wired before Bill Murray's scene is Heather Henson, the daughter of Jim Henson. Oh my goodness. I actually, little trivia for you WoHos. One of my good friends growing up is a Henson descendant. At first I thought the last name was just a coincidence, but no, I learned that no, it is the Henson. Mm-hmm. The filmmakers originally offered the role of Audrey to Cyndi Lauper before casting original stage actor Ellen Green. Madonna was also reportedly considered for the role, and thank Christ we got Ellen Green.
Oh my God.
Like,
yes, thank the Lord. I think Cyndi Lauper would have been okay. Mm-hmm. I think she could have done the accent, and of course she's got a beautiful singing voice, but I'm really so glad that Ellen Green is in this role.
I think more than anything, seeing Madonna being considered, like, okay, maybe all offense to Madonna. I don't mean to be a hater, but like, when has she begun? When has she been good in a film? Never.
She can't act.
Yeah.
So,
and that's okay. Some people can't act. That's why you should cast actors. Well, briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Layla Daisy gave it a 0.5 star. If you want your kids to enjoy going to the dentist, don't show them this at a young age. Okay. But this is like old-timey dentist stuff. Like, dentists don't look like this no more. And you can like watch Netflix while you're getting dental work done. Actually, I had a cavity filled, and just for the record, they said there's nothing I could have done. I would always get this cavity. They told me, you know what? This is so small. I don't even think we need to give you anesthetic. And they did that shit in 10 minutes. And I was out of there.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. I was very happy. So, yeah. Ricky _ gave it a 0.5 star. Too much nice guys finish last BS. Sexual undertones made it weird.
What sexual undertones?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree. Like, because I don't think they finished last. Like, the whole time she was down for Seymour. Like, down bad for Seymour. He just could not pick it up because he was so, you know, also, it's just a story of not having like self-esteem, you know, but she loved him. She never wanted Oren.
Yes.
Layla Star Plant Strawberry Rainbow Guitar Spiderweb gave it a 0.5 star. Should have realized this movie would be ass. Like all the most insufferable people I know love this movie more than their families. Okay. They got me with that. No, I don't love it more than my family, but that's so funny. Reese Buffalo gave it 5 stars. I don't think I've ever wanted to watch a movie more in a row than this one. This movie has officially made it to #1 in my top 4, you guys. This is huge. I'm so happy for them. Rachel D07 gave it 5 stars. Rick Moranis. That's all I have to say. I hear you, sister. Rose Trellis gave it 5 stars. Bring back puppets. I agree.
Yes, totally agree.
Well, how would we rate it? How about Audrey 2's?
Sure.
5.
5.
Yeah. No notes. No notes.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's just perfect in every way.
I think it really is perfect. I mean, yeah, I guess you can quibble, you know, maybe it should have had the down ending or, you know, some of the numbers, like you said, you wish were in it. But if this is all you know, I think it's perfect.
I agree. Like, even though there's stuff I loved in the original musical, there's stuff in this movie that wasn't in the musical that I loved. So I think whatever choices they made, I'm okay with it because I think it's like you said, you don't miss what you don't know. And when you watch this movie, you don't miss anything, you know? So 5 stars,
Yeah.
5 Audreys.
5 stars.
What have we learned?
Well, be careful what you shop for when there's a total eclipse of the sun.
Yes. And if the strings attached are murder, no. And value yourself.
Yes, I think that's the biggest lesson of all.
Yes, because you don't know what you could be missing out.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Would we watch it again?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Today.
I own it. Come over. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Movie party. Favorite scene/kill or song lyric? You first.
I know Seymour's the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sadist. And then I love it when they rhyme bicuspid with maladjusted.
Yes.
How about you?
Gosh, favorite song lyric? That's really tough. Now it's all leaving my head. On our big, enormous 12-inch screen. I just love that song. And I guess favorite kill, gotta be Oren. I feel bad for Mr. Mushnick.
Yeah, I feel bad for Mr. Mushnick. I mean, he wasn't the greatest guy in the world, but I don't think he deserved to be eaten by a plant.
No.
Yeah.
Who wins the You Fool Award? Well, that's still got to be Mr. Mushnick, though. You're talking to a guy who, in your mind, has just hacked up a man. Like,
yes,
turn him in. I'm sorry.
Don't make a deal with that guy.
No.
Yeah.
Turn him in.
Yeah. I guess you're right. I think Oren was just, being Oren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that would have happened no matter what. Like, at one point, he just would have taken too much gas.
Yeah. That contraption that he has. I mean, it's just like
he looks like what's his name from like Mad Max?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Joe.
Yes, Joe.
Like, oh, fuck. Well,
it's going to come to it like...
Yeah.
While we take the bathroom break, we're going to both come back and be like, who is this?
He does, though. That's really good. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
1, 2,
may get a visitor.
3. MEMOIR 10 Joe.
I didn't look it up. Yeah. I was like crouton,
Crouton Joe.
Crouton Joe. No, I was looking up, people who speak French are francophones. Mm-hmm. I was looking up what's the phone for Polish because I want to apologize to everybody who speaks Polish before I butcher these names.
It's a tough language for English speakers.
Well, yeah. But welcome back from the break. We may have a visitor because it's storming here and Rosie really doesn't like thunder.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, but I gave her a squeezy treat and she's enjoying that, but she may come in. Okay. The Lure, short plot summary from IMDb. In Warsaw, a pair of mermaid sisters are adopted into a cabaret. While one seeks love with humans, the other hungers to dine on the human population of the city. Oh, yeah, sort of. All right, this was directed by... Okay, so apologies to anybody who speaks Polish or knows Polish. I don't. What I looked up online was how to pronounce Polish vowels, and it basically said it's phonetic. Even though there are a lot of letters, it's phonetic. So Agnieszka Smoczynska, screenplay by Robert Bolesto, based on The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen, starring Kinga Prius, Michalina Ozanska, Marta Mazurek, Jakub Giersal, Andrzej Konopka, Zygmunt Milanowicz, Marcin Kowalczyk, Magdalena Cieleka, and Katarzyna Herman. Cinematography by Jakub Kijowski, edited by Yaroslaw Kaminski, music by Baladi I Romanans.
I think you did pretty good.
Thank you.
I know I'm not the source on this, but good job.
I know we have Polish WoHos, so feel free to get in touch and tell me where I messed up. The release date was the 25th of December, 2015 in Poland, and it has a running time of 92 minutes. How'd you feel about this runtime, Mac?
Longest 92 minutes. I'm just kidding.
All right. Was this the longest one or the animated one that we looked at recently?
That one is 5 hours long as far as I'm concerned. Still can't beat that. This one is still
pretty long.
I did not hate it.
Okay.
I was uncomfortable for most of it.
It's not so I told Quinn I was watching this film that was sort of based like I said, A Little Mermaid for adults. And she said, "Oh, that sounds whimsical, is it?" And I said, "No, it is not."
The grungiest.
It is very dark. So we have a father, mother, and son singing team, and they're singing on the shore, while Silver and Golden, two mermaid sisters, sing, "Help us to come ashore. No need to fear. We won't eat you."
Don't believe them.
The father and son seem hypnotized, and the mom screams. That's the opening of the film.
I gotta say, I love the casting of the two mermaids. I feel like they found such They both have such different features in like the best way. I could not stop doodling them because like one of their faces is so open and sweet looking and the other one is so like, don't fuck with me.
Like severe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The blonde mermaid, she looks like a friend of mine. It was really nice, but kind of distracting. So we cut to Club Adria. The mom sings, the dad drums. The club owner is introduced to Golden and Silver by the dad, who demonstrates that they are smooth as a Barbie doll before he pours water on the girls and they transform. We learn that the mermaids can communicate telepathically.
I love the sound of them communicating. It's like dolphins.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. The sisters are taken on a shopping spree. The girls seem fascinated with the city and say they will never leave. I liked this number.
It was so cute.
But I mean, I'm looking at the English translation, but I mean, it didn't seem to have anything. I mean, aside from saying they're never going to leave and the city is so fascinating to them. I mean, the lyrics don't really help to move the plot along all that much.
No, this one does feel more like we put songs in sometimes, but it's kind of jarring when they start singing in terms of like, oh, here's how the characters are feeling right now. And perhaps that's like the language barrier. Maybe in Polish, it's like a lot different of a meaning. Like there's lots that can be lost in translation, but I wasn't like super into the music aspect, honestly.
Yeah. The son Mietek takes a shine to Silver. Golden wonders if Silver falls in love, will she eat him? The girls sing with the mom. The climax of the act is that they transform into mermaids in an oversized wine glass.
We forgot about...
And the crowd goes wild.
They have to let us know up front where the hole is on these mermaids. And
yeah,
it's so disturbing. Like when they show them to the... Because first they identify them as like, oh, well, they're our friends' kids. And the guy's like, well, this is a club for adults. So they're clearly like young. I know they're not humans, but like they look like very young girls. And then that they're instantly like, and that's where the hole is if you want to fuck it. Like that's so crazy.
Yeah. Yep. That's one part that I didn't really care for. And I didn't write it down in my notes, although it does come up later with the dad, who I think his name is Bill, but I never got the name of the mom. Let me see if I can get Rosie to come on top of this table.
Hey, Rosie.
She wants to tear up that chair. Okay. Hey, Rose. Hey, want to come up here? Come up here? You want to come up here?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't. All right. So Golden encounters Triton, but nothing comes of that yet. Okay, so he's just he's a bald guy. He looks a little rough. He's got these scars on his head, but we don't know who he is yet. Silver is much more keen on the family and performing in the club. Golden seems to be longing for the sea.
She's so cute.
She sings the sad song, which starts, "It's been a long time since I've been so lonesome." And I do kind of like this song too. It's like, I'm so sad because she's so sad, and she's so sad because we're so sad. And I kind of like that song. Why it shows up at the wedding when everyone is singing that song, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But again, Golden glamours a man at the bar, leaves with him, and eats him.
Hell yeah.
I love his little red car.
Yeah, she
like
hops
it's
in.
like, yeah, she just hops in, and one of the guys from the club runs after her, and he gets her name wrong, but then he's like, "I love you," and she's like, she just like, there's a moment, and she, that she's like hypnotizing him, and she's like, "I love you, just don't tell anybody. Bye." Yeah, I just, so we know that they have these, these powers that they can use on people. Okay. Silver accidentally sees the mom blowing some guy. Yeah.
That confused
Not
me.
her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only reason, I mean, I guess we're learning that the marriage is not all it's cracked up to be, but also, I think it's just so Silver learns what a blowjob is.
You're right. Yeah.
So, okay. She learns how to smoke a cigarette from the coat check lady who tells her that if she gets a pussy, she will lose her voice.
Now, how does she know?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just... And also, I mean, everybody's really accepting that, yes, there are mermaids in this world. And everybody knows the lore.
Yeah.
That if they lose their tail, they lose their voice.
Man, I feel so bad for Silver. Like, I just wanted to be like, girl, he's not that into you.
Yeah, to that point, Mietek follows Silver and seems interested in her at first, but he says he will always see her as a fish, an animal. She offers him one of her scales, and it's painful for her to take her scale off of her, so he can be the world's first four-handed bass player if he'll kiss her. So he gives her this kiss on the cheek. And brutal. She's just like, yeah. I think she is hypnotizing him, though, right? Okay.
I think so, because then he, like, you know, fully gets in the water. Yeah,
they sing together, and then he swims with her, and then I wrote, if you know what I mean. Because then they show back up, they're both soaking wet, and everybody in the club seems to understand that they're a couple now.
I do love this scene because I feel like him saying to her, like, I'm going to always see, like, I like you, you know, I don't dislike you, but, and you know what? No offense to her, but I think that's absolutely fair. Like, they smell so pungently of fish that the club owner smelled them all the way, you know, from the front of the club. That would be tough for me to get through. They're mystical beings. That would be really tough for me. And and I really don't feel like we can be that mad at this guy because he told her so upfront. Like, he did. Yes. He was like, it's nothing against you. It's just, that's how it is. And I think that was really nice of him, actually, to, like, I think it's a hard thing to hear probably, but, you know, I think he did definitely let her on a little bit, but from the get, she should have been like, okay, like, if there's anybody who's gonna see past this, it's not this guy.
Yes, right. Golden returns. She has some blood on her face, but she says it was a cow.
That was so funny.
The sisters are now named The Lure and are singing with the mom now as a backup singer. A woman in the crowd seems really into Golden. And then the sisters tongue kiss. No, thank you. No, thank you at all.
So gross.
They are a smash hit.
I want to know so badly about this world of the cabaret because I really was like, wow, there's people here every night. And this, I never, like, it was kind of hard for me to get into the idea that, like, this scene would be as big and as glitz and as glam as it was because it seems like a very niche thing.
Yes.
But I mean, I thought it was cool, but
the whole city's like taken with them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, the whole thing about sirens. I mean, these aren't sirens, but I mean, yeah, they can attract people. So I guess it's all that kind of thing.
The existence of the club in general, like before they even got there, I was like, how is this family? Like, I guess I don't know enough about the idea of like an adults only late night music scene, you know, like that it was this glitz and glam. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was cool, but I was sat there thinking like, how do they make their money? Because when in the beginning, when he's going through the whole entire place being like, what smells like fish? I was like, so many people work here.
Yes. Yeah. They have a restaurant in the back. They've got a dance floor in the back.
They got a meme on knitting in one part. Like, what is she doing?
Yeah. Golden speaks to Triton at the bar. He says she is one of his blood. Sorry. He says she is of his blood and he has horns under his skull. And he's like, a fisherman broke this one off, and then I took this one off myself. He asks if Golden wants to sing with his band. He also warns her that if Silver falls in love with Mietek and he marries someone else, Silver will turn into sea foam by morning.
And okay, I just have to confess that at this point, I felt like in the movie, like, wrap it up. Like, I know it's going to happen. Like, obviously we know the story of, Little Mermaid, but like, I just felt like they didn't give enough mystique, where, I don't know, you are just the whole time like, okay, so she's going to turn to sea foam by the end. That's not
Yes.
not going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think this next scene is pretty interesting because it's sort of talking about like fetishes and I don't know, like wanting, I don't know, to be with someone you have othered. I think it's just kind of interesting, and I think it definitely would happen.
Yeah.
If there were like a supernatural being that came into our world. The woman from the club who was into Golden is police and knows Golden ate a citizen. Kind of like that line.
Me too.
Golden seduces her. They make love when Golden is in fish form.
Yeah, I did. When I looked up the movie, I did see people, like, I saw an article that was talking about, like, kind of likening it to, like, trans misogyny and stuff, and, like, the fetishization of transgender women, which, like, I could totally see, like, especially when, Mietek is talking to her and is like, I'm never going to see you. And she says, like, do you want me to be a girl? Like, I thought that was very specific. And I did like that. Like, thinking about it through that lens made me like the movie more. Because, like, that's not... I feel like trans men... There's definitely some fetishization of trans men somewhere, but we almost have, like, the opposite polarizing problem. Like, I feel like the fetishization of trans women is such on, like, a magnitude that is so disturbing, when you think about also, like, how society treats trans women. It's very sad. And so that's not me being like, oh, I wish trans women, I don't like that. That's not something you should ever want because it's not fun. It is just interesting. It's very interesting to me how, I guess, porn and sex, like ideas of that influence people's views of trans women versus trans men. I feel like whereas with trans men, there sometimes is the view of like, no, like what do you have to offer, I guess, because people view men as like, well, we want dicks, you don't have that, what the heck, and then if you are attracted to women, like I put quotes just as in like, if you view women as only having these parts, you'd be like, well, you got rid of like your boobs and stuff, like that's the sentiment I have seen in some spaces. So sorry, I just got on a tangent, but it made me think about all that stuff.
Yeah, no, me too. And I just think it's really kind of interesting that that's in here. I mean, that was kind of like inserted into this basically fairy tale.
Yeah, it made me think of Titan, this movie.
Yeah, I think it has definitely Titan vibes. Like Titan a whole lot more than this one, though.
Same, yeah.
The mom fantasizes she is nursing the sisters while she makes love with her husband.
I guess this
no, thank you again.
That was crazy. I can kind of see it of her being like so disgusted with him that he would like, I guess she sees them as such. She like says multiple times like, oh, my children, like she views them as like, that's a really disturbing way to depict it. But I guess in her mind, then she's like, that's so fucked up of you, not only to cheat on me, but with them, So,
right. Yeah. And maybe that is the proper way to see them.
Yeah.
Like almost as children.
'Cause they don't know anything about the world.
Yeah. They're completely naive. And Golden is just acting out of her instinct. But she doesn't, like when we see her in the punk rock space, she doesn't know how to handle herself there either.
No.
So, poor thing. So then the mom kind of comes out of her reverie and she smells the fish smell on the dad. And she's like, fine, go fuck your fish, And then Mietek comes home with Silver and she slaps him in the face. So she just has had it with the mermaids.
I love he says, I ate herring for dinner. She's like, what, with your hands?
Yeah. Golden expresses her concern for Silver. The dad has his own number where he sings and dances, and I think this is sort of an apology to his wife because he just acts like a fool and everybody laughs at him. But then on the news is the story of the murdered man. He was mutilated and his heart was torn from his body. And the mermaids look very suspicious.
I love this scene. Everybody's like, so good.
But Silver looks at the mom and she does that really high-pitched sound. And then as a distraction, I think, she's like, how come we never play volleyball? How come we never go ice skating? We don't do the things that children do or families do. And how come we never get money for our performances? Good question. And then Silver and Golden fight physically, which pisses off the dad. So he punches them both out and he thinks he has killed them.
With a cut to them pushing the bodies off the bridge, I was like, y'all, you are crazy. That they were like, okay, we made a mistake, guys. All right, let's not do that again.
Yeah, they roll them up in rugs and they push them over the bridge. Mietek vomits, the dad crosses himself, and mom smokes. The family all physically fight one another. I thought this was really interesting because after they have pushed the bodies, not really bodies, but they have pushed the girls into the water, they all physically fight one another and they tear their house apart. And there's the mom calls for this nurse to come and all give them IVs so they can recover from their hangovers.
I had no idea what was happening in this scene. So this is illuminating a lot for me.
And the nurse sings a song about how the poison is inside them. And that is what the smell is.
So they kind of hypnotize them to do this? Or...
Who hypnotized?
Did the...
No.
Oh, okay. This is just because they've entered... They brought violence into their family and now it's affecting all of them. Okay.
Yeah. That's the way I read it anyway.
Yeah, I see that.
The sisters aren't dead.
Of course. And
they attack and kill a gay couple? Oh,
I didn't realize that.
I don't know for sure.
I thought it was just dudes rolling up. It was just the closest people who just rolled up. I could be wrong, but...
Okay. That could be, but I thought it was kind of isolated. So, two guys, in an isolated setting. But I'm not sure. So Silver begins eating the heart of one of the victims, but becomes disgusted. But Golden just chows down.
Who I feel worse for is Golden, honestly. I feel really bad for Golden because she's doing her mermaid thing, they are not human, and I feel like that would just suck so hard to see your sister go through this and to warn her so often. And then, you're doing your mermaid thing, what the mermaids are supposed to do. And then now she's getting an attitude, and wants to be human. I feel like that would suck.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. The family goes back to the nightclub and the sisters walk into the dressing room. I really like this because they're both wearing raincoats, which I love.
Yes.
And kind of these really short dresses. So they're just wearing raincoats and then you see their bare legs. I don't know. I just like that detail. They just walk into the dressing room. So Silver hugs Mietek And the dad apologizes to Golden, who says, they aren't mad. And then she bites off the tip of his thumb.
Oof. God, the fear.
And everyone
in that
just
room.
sort of, yeah. But everybody is just sort of like, yeah, that's about right.
I guess we did try to kill you.
Silver drinks vodka and smokes at the bar. She tells a man at the bar she is getting real legs and a pussy, and he can have her fishtail if he wants it.
She's like, I know you want it. I saw you.
And he's like, no, I don't. And she's like, yes, you do. And I thought, if you knew how magical it was, you would.
Yeah, you could swim in the water. That would be pretty awesome.
But even the scales have magical powers.
That's true.
So, but Golden goes to see Triton and joins him on stage. After, he tells her she needs a lot of practice.
Oh. God, that scene hurts because she's so like, she feels so into it, and then to just get cut down like that.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
And it was kind of a weird moment because, I mean, she really does like take over the stage. She kicks that other woman like off to the side. And so she just sort of like claims her place on the stage, and she's singing, you know, in this punk rock way. And he says, wow, tonight you were, and she thinks he's going to say like amazing. And then he says, you need a lot of practice.
Ouch.
But I think, I wonder if he really felt like that, or he just wanted to put her in her place.
I feel like the latter, you know, that it was just like, you don't own this, you know, like, and you really feel for her in that moment. Like I think she was my favorite character.
Yeah, me too, in a lot of ways. Golden warns Silver that if she cuts off her tail, she'll lose her voice. But Silver says that's just a superstition. She also says that if Golden tries to stop her, she'll never see her again. And then we get the operations scene.
I want to know everything about the girl on the left. I had so many questions.
What's that all about?
Yeah, like, oh, so she does want the tail, like, or there is somebody who wants the tail.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
And they're
or at
on
least
the
has
ice.
Been convinced. Yeah, they're laying on beds of ice.
So gross.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I thought this was so like I don't know, like I talking about like body modifications and stuff, like I know that's it's such a commonplace thing now. Like you and I were talking about Love Island and how like at least all the women have to, I feel like it's a requirement to be on the show that you have to have had a procedure done, which I don't love. But then at the same time, I am somebody who has done body modifications to like fit what I want my body to be. So it's not that I'm against it, you know, but I am against it if it's to be something for somebody else that I don't think is right. Or for yourself. I mean, it should be to fulfill what you want, but what you want should be something that would make you happy if there was nobody else around, you know?
Right.
Personally, I know some people might feel differently. And but yeah, I think I felt for her. I felt for Silver here because she's just doing it because she thinks that's what Mia Tech would want.
And I think the overhead shot is kind of interesting because her body with her tail is so long.
Yes.
Compared to the woman who's giving up her legs. It's so like short and almost like a doll. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was so interesting. Just the difference in their bodies. And I don't know. I just, for some reason, I thought it's kind of like the way I think about crocodiles as being like ancient like creatures. It's like in a way, I don't know how old really these mermaids are.
That's
but
true.
They are legendary. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. They've been around since we've been making up stories about them.
I do love how big their tails were. Like that, I thought was a great detail that they weren't just the like dainty leg length tails. These were honking tails.
Yes, definitely. So after the operation, Silver's at home in a wheelchair. and she's lip syncing to the radio. She can stand on her own, and she and Miatek try to make love, but she gets blood all over Miatek.
This made me so, like, I guess this is kind of where the movie begins to lose me, because I was like, can y'all wait 6 weeks? Like, can you wait like, I know the whole point is he would never be into it, but I just thought this was a silly way to depict that, like, kind of like lazy, because like, yeah, that would be gross, but like, wait a little bit, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure the doctor said, hey, don't fuck, we just added a new body to you, your stitches are red and inflamed, don't do that yet. And the fact that he's like, oh, I got blood all over me, you know what, it's over. Like, I just felt like it could have been done in a way that was just that he would have been like, yeah, I told you I would always see you this way. But they made it seem like, well, no, it's because this was nasty. It's like, well, yeah, it's nasty, obviously.
Well, so the blood was from the incision?
I thought, because she was still bleeding when she took her shirt off. Like, she had blood all over the incisions and stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, it just happened.
So I wondered if it was from her vagina, but it's on his tummy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess it's from the incision. So it's just disgust. He's just disgusted by her.
Yeah. It just sucks.
The boss doesn't want Silver to lip sync. And it's just really, he's like, everybody wants duos nowadays. We'll just have Golden sing solo. Like, what? And then she says, I don't sing solo. So she wheels her sister out of there. Miatek puts the moves on a new girl. The dad leaves the mom, and Silver wakes up crying. And she's never cried before. At the wedding of Miatek and the new girl, we get the refrain of the sad song. Triton tells Silver that she has to eat Miatek by daybreak or she'll turn into sea foam. She doesn't eat him. She turns into sea foam. Then Golden kills Miatek and goes back into the ocean.
So I'm curious what the rules are if somebody else were to kill him before, if she was never able to eat him. Maybe she would instantly turn into sea foam. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I did kind of like, I'm like, how are they going to depict this? And
yes. So, yeah. I loved it.
That was pretty great. So they're dancing together and just kind of slowly swaying with each other. And then all of a sudden, you know, he's just got the sea foam all over him. And he's just like, what the hell? And Golden loses it and just pounces on him and bites into his neck and kills him.
I do love that when she runs away and then everybody else is kind of like, the way that they kind of look at Miatek is kind of like, yeah, we thought something like this might happen. Which was so funny. Like, they weren't like, no, Miatek. They were just like, oh, well, them's the breaks.
So here's some trivia. The mermaid tails were 6 feet long and weighed over 50 pounds. According to Agnieszka Smagzinska, they were designed to look repulsive and different from depictions like Splash 1984 or H2O Just Add Water 2006. The director said she and the producers originally thought because the twin sister mermaid characters were in their teens, maybe teenage actors should play the roles. But after a while, she realized it's not possible for a teenager to act such very, very hard roles. They ended up auditioning over 2,000 girls until they found Marta Mazurek first and then Michalina Olszanska.
I'd like the director to be honest and to just say, well, we realized we wanted to show them naked and we could not do that. Yeah. Like, that's what it was.
Partly based on Agnieszka Smagzinska's experiences during her youth when her mother ran a nightclub where she had her first shot of vodka, first cigarette, first sexual disappointment, and first important feeling for a boy.
Oh, wow.
Robert Bolesto also wrote the story based on two friends of his that frequented nightclubs in the 80s, which enthused Smagzinska and resonated with her own childhood. It features one of the few depictions of Hans Christian Andersen's original ending of The Little Mermaid, which has the title character turning into sea foam. Another mainstream adaptation of the tale known for preserving this ending is The Little Mermaid from 1975.
How do you feel about The Little Mermaid as like a fairy tale?
I never knew it. Mm-hmm. Like, I had a big book of Hans Christian Andersen stories. And if I read it, it was like not memorable to me at all. Mm-hmm. So I don't care about it. Yeah. It's not one of my favorite stories or anything.
There's a lot of fascination with it. And for some reason, I love mermaids as like a horror concept. Like, I love mm-hmm. the idea of them kind of being like anglerfish using the body of a beautiful woman, you know, to lure. That stuff's all great. But the fairy tale itself, I guess, it's always been hard for me to like, I feel like it's a really hard thing to get the audience to believe that you'd want to leave. Like when you watch The Little Mermaid, the Disney movie, you're like, this place looks awesome. Why do you want to come mm-hmm. on shore? You know, like,
right.
I don't get it. And I don't think they've ever done a good job of making it that make sense, I guess. But this one, I guess yeah. I do like Triton says at one point to like Golden, like, this is like, we're on vacation right now. Like, we're not supposed to be here. Right. And I like that. That's like a good idea.
Yeah. And I mean, he had to mutilate himself in order to stay on land, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, mm-hmm. no matter who you are, to stay. So just understand that. What does Letterboxd have to say about it? Sophie G. Maltese gave it 5 stars. If The Little Mermaid, Jennifer's Body, and a secret third thing had a baby, loved it. Colin gave it 5 stars. The gory, transgressive body horror fairy tale musical that I never knew I wanted. And Gnome Squirm gave it 5 stars. Mom's review, 2 stars.
That's so funny.
My favorite Letterboxd reviews are when people directly address somebody. Yeah. Like, Colin, I hated this. Why did you make me watch this?
I'll never forgive you.
Those are my very favorite. But this is a close second when people say what their mom or dad reviewed the movie as. Skylar Quebb gave it a 0.5 star. Whoever came up with this idea to make this movie needs to either go to therapy or a mental asylum, or maybe even both. If you want a movie that will disgust you and make you mad to the point you had to take a commercial break, watch this.
Oh, God.
Okay. Can of Fleece gave it a 0.5 star. This was a 100% nope for me. Made no sense, not scary. It was a weird musical. Nope. And Vera Cute Lovely gave it a 0.5 star and said, ass.
Yes. Congratulations, so Vera Cute Lovely.
We had no ass reviews last time, so I had to squeeze 2 in.
How did you find them? Like, do you control F ass?
Yeah.
I love that. I love it.
Sometimes I just search through, mm-hmm. As many as I can take. I mean, what I don't like about Letterboxd is, and obviously anybody can put the review up there, and a lot of people are like, hated it, boring, stupid, and that's their whole review, So you do have to sort through those to get to anything that's any good.
Yeah, to any ass.
Yeah. So how would we rate it? Let's rate it in terms of
scales.
Scales. Yeah, mermaid scales.
3 scales.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. And I actually like it more now, talking to you about it. I think if we had watched it together, I would have enjoyed my experience a lot more. But watching it alone, I was kind of like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does Alan usually not watch the international films with you?
No, he doesn't. He was playing video games the whole time.
Well, and another thing is like, you don't know if it's going to be scary or,
That's true. Yeah.
Anything. So yeah, I would, if I had somebody who didn't like scary movies, I might say, I don't know about this one, so you might not want to watch it. I think I would give it 3.5. Mm-hmm. Maybe 3.75. I think it's well made, and there are some really interesting ideas. It just wasn't for me. And I've seen it twice and I'm good.
Yeah, I think sometimes movies like this, like it makes sense that it was inspired by people who had a lot of experience with nightclubs, and that's a place I've never been. Like I've never been to a nightclub in my life, and I don't want to go. Like I don't think that'd be the spot for me, but I know that was such a big part of some people's youths, that like, you know, the craziness of the nightclub. Like when I listen to like Charlie XCX's album, you know, and heard her talk about it, she was talking so much about like, oh, I grew up in nightclubs. And I was like, yeah, I like the music, but like, I can't identify with any of this. So perhaps if I did have that experience, this would be like, whoa, this is awesome. So it's like, I give it a respectable 3 stars. It's like, I'm not saying it's bad. Like you say, it's just not for me.
Yeah. What have we learned?
Listen, if a guy tells you he's only going to see you as a fish, move on. There are some guys who are going to be like, don't get rid of the tail. I want the tail. So like, don't change yourself. Number one, no, like even if he had been like, yeah, cut that tail off. Like, don't do that if you don't want to do it. And if everybody you know is like, girl, but you can also find somebody who's going to be like, so about you. I think like every single human in this world, there is somebody out there who will be obsessed with you. And I think it is better to find that person. It might feel like really tough sometimes, and I get that, but you are holding yourself back from finding the guy who will love your mermaid tail if you settle for the guy who called you a fish.
Well, what I didn't like is he said a fish, comma, an animal.
He really drove it home with that one.
Yeah, golly. I mean, that kind of hurt to hear that.
And don't give him a blowjob right after he says that to you.
I know.
You're rewarding bad
she
behavior.
Hypnotized him. I mean, she just figured it would be okay if she just hypnotized him, but
that's also not good. Do not.
Yeah, don't hypnotize people.
Unless they will not leave you alone. If that's the case, you can do that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, actually, I really do like Golden, because there was that other part that I was like noped on when the owner of the club kind of like kicked the people in the butt kind of as they were going on stage, and that looked like something that, you know, everybody does or something. And Golden's like, don't touch me. And I was like, yeah, you know girl. What? This is weird. I don't care if this is the custom. It's strange.
Yeah. She was a real one. I liked her a lot. And I think she's the biggest victim in this movie. She lost a sister and like that. I really felt, I think she's the tragic hero.
Yeah, me too. Would we watch this again? Nope.
Maybe I would. Maybe. Like to give it another shot, but not anytime soon.
Did you have a favorite scene or kill?
Honestly, I did like the scene where he said, I will only ever see you as a fish. Like, I feel as though that, again, thinking about it in like the, you know, dating as a transgender person, like, especially when you said earlier, like, Triton being like, if you want to live in this world, it's not going to be like easy. I feel like that can kind of apply to like, if you want to be around people who find you as you are disgusting, that won't be easy. You can force yourself to fit in and, you know, you can do whatever you want. I can't stop you. But, you know, I think it's healthier to find people who will meet you where you're at. Yeah.
Well said. Who wins the You Fool Award? Silver.
It's gotta be Silver. Right? It's gotta be.
Gotta be Silver. Well, thank you, Mac, for having this conversation with me about Little Shop of Horrors and The Lure.
It was amazing.
And thank you, WoHos, for joining us and for all your support. It means the world of horror to us truly. We appreciate you downloading the show and telling all your friends all about us. Next time, what will we be looking at, Mac? Would you rather we look at movies about serial killers or movies about the end of the world?
I'm going to say serial killers.
Okay, so next time we will be looking at serial killers with American Psycho from the US and Memoir of a Murderer from South Korea. Remember, WoHos, we love you, and don't go into the basement.
Yay!